So, I just wanted to share that right there. That was a testimony that I learned from, and I learned that scripture from there, right? But look, we got to learn how to put first things first. And we also got to learn how to be patient. Nothing's going to happen overnight. Nothing's going to happen from one day to the next. So, we got to put first things first, do an assessment, evaluate, analyze, and then, right, be patient. Be patient and trust the process. Be patient. Everything has to get paid for in time. Everybody wants to get a bag immediately. Everybody want to run and win the Powerball. Everybody want to win the Mega. Everybody want to get that $300, $400, $500 million to see what how life is gonna transpire, and I'm gonna do all these things. But you don't even know if that's gonna help you. It's gonna it's gonna complicate things more. You don't know what's behind that door right there, bro. If you're not mentally responsible to deal with that responsibility right there. And people be, you might go ahead and say, nah, that's a problem that I want to have. That's a problem that I want to have. I want to have that problem that I got a couple of $100 million to deal with. All right, so look, what about if you did have a couple of $100 million and you wasn't healthy? And you had a bad case, a bad disease or something like that. So what's more important now? You want the $100 million, or you want to be 100% healthy, to walk, to read, so your mind works right, that you're not in a home, in a hospital. There's a lot of millionaires, rich people, they don't have their health. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. Look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, the creator of Apple. The Apple phone, and the mastermind behind that whole movement that's so huge right now. Look, he didn't have his health. He didn't have his health, and he did his purpose, and he went on, right? But he passed on. But look, bro, at one point he had all the millions in the world, bro, and he wished that with all the millions that he had in the world, right, the best doctors, that they would have been able to do the correct surgery, and they did do the surgery. He did get the transplant, but it just didn't go well. It was his time. But so look, I'd rather have my health. I'd rather be 100% healthy. I'd rather have my health than millions and millions and millions of dollars, because health comes first. And time to see my grandchildren have children. Time that I'm able to see my great-grandchildren. That's a great blessing, bro. Those are things that I value right there. I value that I can see my children have grandchildren and stuff like that, and so don't always be caught up on the bag, bro. Be patient and be grounded. Learn how to be grounded and learn how to put first things first. You can't get ahead. You can't get ahead. You can't put the carriage ahead of the horse. The horse has to go first. And whatever situation, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever vision you're trying to execute, see what comes first. See if you have to get knowledge about it. See if you need to get understanding. It says, I read or I heard, it says, first seek to understand, then to be understood. First, you must seek to understand, then to be understood. And the way we put it is, we always want to be understood, and we don't want to understand nothing. Nah, you gotta first understand, bro. You gotta understand certain things, man. Don't always want to be understood. Nah, you gotta understand me. Nah, let me understand what the world is. Let me understand what the situation is. Let me understand what was going on around me, so that I could know how I'm gonna proceed moving forward. That's the mindset right there. People don't understand that. People always want to be understood. People always want to have the last word. Nah, man, sometimes you got to be quiet. You got to observe. You got to go back in history and analyze what worked, what didn't work, what were the consequences of my actions, and where am I going right now. You can't try to do things that worked in the past. You see what I'm saying? You can't try to do things that worked in the past. Times change. We in a new year, a new decade, and the mom and pop stores, they basically in trouble right now. They running out of business. They don't have a business right now. The mom and pop stores, everything is online. Everything is, everything is Amazon. Everything is, I'm ordering online. You don't have to leave your house no more. And then, right, with this pandemic, you can't even go nowhere and be together with nobody no more. That affected everything, bro. Look, what about people that took for granted going to church? You hardly can't go to church anymore because you can't gather. There's no more huge gatherings. Corporate worship. That took a hit right there, bro. I'm so glad that I never neglected and I didn't, I didn't stop going to church, bro. Because now that I can go to church, I'm thinking I'm glad that I did when I was able to go. I did go. I learned, and it keeps me grounded today. Look, a person that's trying to go to church now, that wants to grow spiritually, they can still grow spiritually, but now they don't have the benefit of being around other believers, of sitting down on the pastor preaching the right doctrine. Now, everything is virtual. You don't have that connection, that physical connection, bro, with your brothers and sisters. So that's why I'm glad that I didn't take it for granted, that I didn't say, oh, I got tomorrow to go to church, or I don't need to go to church. Nah, for a lot of years now, bro, more than 10 years, I've been in church faithfully, praising, serving, and I'm glad that I did that, because now that I can't go as often, I'm grounded in a way that, look, in the pandemic, I'm able to know that it's going to be all right, that God's in control, that I got to be patient, that I got to have the faith to believe that we're going to get on the other side of this. And I'm glad that I did that, So look, do what you could do at this point. But when things get better and church opens back up, make it your business to go the extra mile, go to church, bro. See God in that way. So you can see, because this is just a pandemic that happened now, but later on, who knows what's coming later on. You could go back and see what happened in 2000 with the Y2K. That was a big thing. Then in 2008 with the real estate financial collapse, that was a big thing. You could go further back, the 80s, the crack epidemic, that was a big thing. And the millions of people and thousands, hundreds of thousands, they got incarcerated behind that. That was big. Now we got this pandemic, and moving forward, what's coming next? So, think on that right there, and do the best that you could do, because, there's something that's called, right? Schools use this, universities. It's a predicted GPA, right? I learned this listening to Eric Thomas, the Secret to Success podcast, right? Look, there's a predicted GPA that they do on students based on their background and their race. So look, if you come from an inner city, right, and your educational history in school, it was what it was, they have a predicted GPA. Before you even start, they say, wait a minute, based on what school he went to, his past grades, his race, his predicted GPA is 1.2, 2.4, whatever it is, right? Right? So they're already saying what's going to happen with that individual based on where he's at, where he come from, his race, and so forth. That's the same thing that happens with us in